Hey guys, Shadefyre here, and I'm back with episode 5 of Let's Play Penumbra, Black Plague. It's been quite a while since the last episode, but I've finally gotten my systems back in order, and now I can finally finish Black Plague. So, if you remember from last time, our father died, or was dead by the time we met him, and now we're going to try to save Amabel instead, and hopefully get out of this facility and get a cure. A lot of things on the to-do list right now. Now, there might be a couple improvements to the new system that you guys might or may not notice. I'm not sure how well it'll transfer over to YouTube, but basically we're running at a 60 frames per second steady rate now instead of 45. So it'll be a little smoother. Once again, you probably won't notice the difference with the encoding there. But yeah, so back and ready to finish this game. Just gotta get up this poorly constructed scaffolding using our physics powers. Just drop this big hunk of wood here. Shut up, worm noises. Switch. Alright. Climb up this ye old ladder. We should be fairly close to the end of the game. I'd say probably 2 or 3 more episodes before we're finished, and then I can finally start a new project, which I've been looking forward to starting for a while. It won't be Amnesia, because I know a lot of people, or a couple of people. What is it with this place and dead bodies?
I mean, good, yeah. More monkeys for the incinerator. Shut up.
Anyhow, yeah, so it probably won't be Amnesia, because I wanted to take a break from this. Amnesia plays very similarly to Penumbra. Oh, there's an artifact over there. So I'd like to take a break from this sort of format and maybe go with something a little different, maybe a little more action-oriented. Can't reach it from here, so we'll need to improvise. This well-balanced and perfectly placed rock. So I'll probably do something a little bit more action-oriented, like first-person shooter or something like that. A little less puzzly.
Your problem solving. How do you manage it with such small, singular brains? Isn't it terribly quiet, not hearing the thoughts of every one of your brothers?
Nope. Recognize that sound? It's an Amabel computer. Whoop whoop.
You came! I guess I didn't really expect you to bother. My lab partner's such a pessimist. Was such a pessimist. It kind of rubbed off on me. He tried to make it through to me not too long ago. I guess he's a bit late for the party. You'll have to make a quick detour over the surface next, but be careful. If the cold doesn't kill you, well, let's just say I didn't pick the safest of locales for my last-ditch survival attempt. Okay, good news. Good news. Oh yeah, I think I've got a cure. Well, it's not really what you'd call a cure, but it should be enough to help you. I don't think I'm infected. I was careful, but I guess if you come rescue me and I'm looking at you like you're a roast chicken, I got it wrong. Sorry, that probably wasn't funny, was it? No, I suppose not. Well, I hope to see you soon.
Yeah, cures, rescues, saving the world, also cliché.
Oops, didn't mean to silence Clarence there. But he basically says that morality is a lasting fragment, or the lasting effect of religion. Our morality. Which is, I guess, a good point. A cure! So, for the first time since the very first game at the beginning, we are outside again.
I'm not actually cold, you understand?
Right?
I'm just trying to make you feel better.
So every time the screen flashes like that, we're taking damage. You die much faster.
Gives off lots of heat.
You die much faster out here than you did in the first game, where you had to stand around for a couple minutes.
Now, if I were you, which arguably I am,
here it'll kill you pretty
I'd be
quickly.
asking myself in a gormless sort of voice, did that bridge really collapse, or is my good friend Clarence just playing an hilarious jape? The answer, monkey man, is that I don't even know myself. One way to find out Please, don't get us killed.
But lighting up and standing beside one of these barrels will bring you back to full health. Now, you can either be stupid and try to construct some sort of bridge out of all these bits and bobs here. Actually, let me check something. Okay. No, we should probably... that's fine. Or you can walk along this impossible path along the side. So now we've got ourselves a Zippo, and we've got ourselves a lighter, and this is frozen shut. I wonder what we'll have to do. Just glue these two things together, and we've got ourselves a flamethrower. Now let's go warm up all the bridges coming across. We're almost inside.
This red, he's plastered all over your mind like a garish wallpaper. He wanted to die and we wouldn't let him. You know, he's kind of humming up the place, if you know what I mean. Weird smell. Excuse me a minute. I'm gonna go give you a memory of him a good kicking.
Well, there goes everything we know about the man called Red. Alright, so we can't just use our flamethrower directly on the barrel because that won't work and it would probably blow us up. So we're going to just take this ratty old cloth, pop it into the rag hole, clip these two barrels into one with our physics magic, I guess. And light it. Oh, right. Totally forgot about this part. So we can take that alcohol we've been carrying around ever since we found the syringe way back at the beginning and dump it all over this. There, now it'll light. Fine. We'll just use the regular lighter then, in the boring way. Blasted our way through.
Okay, so on the to-do list,
check.
Find this damsel in distress, kill the bad
check.
guys,
Check.
cure infection,
Not
save
check.
the world.
Also not
Chances
check.
of success, nil. Chances of survival? Well, you got old Clarence on board. That should speak for itself. Chances of you buggering things up royally? Almost certain.
So this is part 2 of the shelter, Science Wing A. It's pretty big and there's a lot of little rooms. Like all of these B numbered rooms are just rooms that are attached to this area, so they're not like loading doors. But we also have to hit up all of these areas except for the first one, which is where we came in. So we're gonna have to go to the Kennel, but first we gotta go up to that research facility where Amabel is. I don't understand the point of having windows underground.
You know, you turning up here is probably the second best thing to happen to me since I've been down here. I'm reserving first place for when we get out. So, I'm not big-headed enough to think you came all the way here just to rescue me. I wasn't lying though, I think I've worked out how to disinfect you. But, you probably saw this coming. It's not quite as simple as all that. I had to engage the failsafe on the research rooms to seal myself in here, and that means we need a keycard to get me out. One of the personnel, one of the infected ones, tried to get in with a card, but I don't know where it went. Look, I need you, and, well, if you do get me out, I'll give you the biggest hug of your life.
Really?
Cool.
hug's all you got to offer?
Go here, go there, fetch this, rub me a bath. Typical broad, atypical circumstances. You think fate has anything to do with this? Fate is merely the war cry of those too scared to think for themselves.
The archaic would never ask that employees work longer than the recommended 8-hour shift, but understands that enthusiasm for their work and dedication to the team may often motivate them to do so. Thank you for not letting us down.
Alright, so there are infected around here, so we gotta be a little bit careful. But I don't think there's any down the kennel way. Dust coming out of the walls, that's not a good sign. Well, let's just not crawl around at the dog houses. However, there's a statue in this one. Also, all the dogs are missing from this area, so that explains the dogs and how they got trapped in the mines, I guess.
Dark, isn't it? Echo! Echo! Kinda empty. Now this is what it's like to be me, buried deep within the cavernous expanse you call a mind. You see, this is what puts me in such a bad mood. We spend all this time messing about with door codes, levers, human appendages, and it turns out at the blink of an eye, I can just block it all out. Whoosh! Gone. Just you and me on some kind of messed up holiday. You think I can conjure up some margaritas? No? Shall we get the hell out of here then? Well, it's hardly better, but it is more interesting. Just...
I always like that kind of little scene there because it's the only time you really get Clarence's perspective on this little dual outlook thing they've got going on. Let's see, something crawling in the walls and holes in the walls in the dark hallway. Yeah, I think we'll take a pass on that for now. Handprints. They look like child handprints. Just because they're so small. But I think that's just to make them suitably creepy. Rather than to suggest that there were children in the shelter. So, we're just gonna take these boxes over here because we're about to need them for something. First, we'll hop over to here. All these bloody paw prints. That looks like neither a collar, a leash, nor a water bowl. That looks like a chunk of rotting dog. Or rotting something. Dog cannibalism? Who can say? This little room right here reminds me a lot of one of the scenes from The Thing, because they both take place in a sort of Arctic research facility, and there is a thing that kills a bunch of dogs. The only difference is they're not being absorbed by it. So there's nothing actually in here, so... horrible. We're gonna head back this way. Oh, jeez. Just an illusion. Ha ha, Clarence. Very funny. He doesn't even have anything to say about that one either. He says like an animal did this, but is he talking about the tunnel? Because the tunnel just looks like it was already there, considering that there's a grating going down it. Batteries and a note. So this is written by Elof Carpenter, who you may not remember, but he left us a audio tape near the beginning of the game about what the weakness of the infected are, and died before he could tell us. But he's reporting on one of his other colleagues, Frisk, Wilbur Frisk, which I could swear that name is from a Lovecraft story. I just can't remember which one. I think it's the Dunwich Horror, but I'm not 100%. So essentially, weird shit has happened with Frisk and his dogs. Presumably, the infection and his interest in dogs made him change a little bit different from the others, and now he's some sort of hunting animal. Anyhow, turning off this switch will turn the lights on in the other hallway, but turn off the lights in this hallway. Now, as it said in that note, Frisk is sensitive to light. So, if we want to get through here, we're going to need more than just a flashlight and a glow stick to keep him at bay. Now, luckily, these two boxes, two heavy metal boxes that Philip can just push around on top of each other, are just the right size to cover up these holes in the walls. Now I'm sure you might be wondering what happens if we don't... Oh, God, I hate when it does this snapping thing. Okay, like that. And then a little bit over. Okay. You may be wondering what happens if we go through in the dark, you know, does some horrible monster appear and attack us? Well, they took kind of the lazy way out here, and you'll just keep taking damage and having your screen shake around when you run through the dark, and you die in about 2 hits. So you never really see what's killing you, but you're presumed it's him crawling out of the walls. So now if we turn this switch off, he can growl and claw all he wants, but he can't get at us. Because apparently Philip is really fucking strong, and Frisk is not. Because he can't push those boxes away from the holes.
Whoa! Blatant corpses! You lot must be programmed to just search out danger and throw yourselves head first at it! I'm starting to become seriously desensitized here!
Was he just like glued to the ceiling? And how come we didn't see him the first time we went through? Bodies everywhere. Alright, so switching this doesn't actually turn on all of the lights, it turns them on in some sort of weird, creepy sequence. So we have to stay within the pool of light or else we die. Jump. And through the door. We don't have to worry about him breaking in because there's light source in here. Now the reason we wanted to come in here is for this.
Keycards! I hate keycards! Whatever happened to good old bolts and padlocks? That's what I want to know!
Back out of this horrible dark pit. Also, you might notice there's a little visual glitch when you pick up the keycard. I'm not actually sure what Clarence changed, but that's the sort of signal for him changing something. We're just running back to the save point here. I think I'm going to cut it short for this episode, just so I can get it up as soon as possible. So, hopefully, you guys will be seeing this very soon. And I will be putting out updates a lot more often, obviously, now that I can actually record them again. Alright guys, I was Shadefyre, and batteries. And this is me signing out. See you next time.